is the Herd, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. Live in Los Angeles, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1. We have breaking NFL news, and I believe fans, in a rare form, a rare example of unity, a rare form of angst, have helped initiate this. Al Riveron, who is the NFL Senior VP of Officiating, has just announced that the competition committee has made a recommendation on the catch rule. The new NFL catch rule. This is a thing, folks. Do you have control, number one? Do you have 2 feet down or another body part? That's what we all agree on. And then 3 is just a football move, like a third step or reaching, extending. For example, let me give you the Jesse James Pittsburgh Steeler that was called not a catch. Control, he's got it. Body part down, got it. This would be ruled a catch and a brief bubble, but a catch. He broke the plane. That's a touchdown now. Pittsburgh would have hosted the AFC Championship. He had control of the ball. He had either 2 feet down or another body part. And it was a football move, which is, are you reaching? Are you extending for the gain? Do you have, the ability to perform such an act after you have control and your feet down? So Dez Bryant, Cowboys, Packers would have been a catch. Calvin Johnson would have been a catch. Here's the Dez Bryant, left side. Boom, boom, control. Yeah, that's a catch. Because he's got control, there it is, he's got 2 feet down, and his ability to reach means he's making a football move. What they're basically getting away from, which they should have, is the process of the catch. They want you to control it, you either have 2 feet or a body down, and then you just make a football move, like you turn your shoulder, you move ahead. Dez, that is now a catch. And the Cowboys should have advanced. And the Steelers should have advanced. And Calvin Johnson's play should have been a touchdown against the Bears years ago. So that is great news. Coaches, execs, players, the NFL Competition Committee is now recommending a change to what a catch is in the NFL. Tip of the cap to fans. Your angst, your voice, your unity, fans are rarely unified, I think was a big part of this. Now, before I bring on the FS1 instigator, Rob Parker, he is all worked up today. Listen, the Thunder blew it last night, so just for a couple of minutes, let me get to this. I have always said point guards in the NBA are quarterbacks. That's why when people say, oh, Anthony Davis is going to take over the league, I always say, well, does he have his hands on the ball late? Is he controlling tempo? In the NFL, I overwhelmingly talk about quarterbacks. Why? Because there's 70 snaps a game for an offense, and they're the only guy that touches it every time. And I've said this. I'm very tough on quarterbacks because they not only have the ball, they call the plays, they control the tempo, they have the keys to winning games, especially late. Not a pass rusher, not a safety, not a Mike linebacker, not a slot receiver, not a left tackle. Quarterbacks should get the love, the money, and the criticism. Similar for point guards. Okay, the tempo. There's more possessions ever in the NBA. I don't care about wings. I don't care about bigs. Bigs aren't even playing on the floor with 3 minutes left because most of them can't hit a free throw outside of Karl Anthony Towns. Point guards dictate tempo, and when games get late, 2 minutes, 3 minutes left, I'm going to blame you or give you love if you're a point guard. So let me set the table for you. Oklahoma City played Boston last night. Gordon Hayward's been out for the year, and Kyrie Irving was out. This is a layup, right, for OKC. Okay, it's a layup. They should have won the game. But they are on the road. Brad Stevens is good, blah, blah, blah. And Boston plays defense. Oklahoma City is up 95-92. And they have the ball. So they're up 3. They have the ball. There's a minute left. They have the MVP, Russell Westbrook's their quarterback/point guard. So now think about this. You got the ball. All you got to do, waste some clock, drive, get fouled, take a good shot. What does he do here? Never passes. And what is the one thing he shouldn't do? Jack a deep 3. Now, he gets saved by foul on the Celtics, so Steven Adams hits one free throw. But that 1 point's the difference. If you would have asked Boston what they wanted Westbrook to do there, it would have been, shoot a lousy three. Russell Westbrook is the lowest rated three-point shooter in the league. Here's what Westbrook does really well. Drive. You can't stop him. Get fouled often and hit free throws. So here is a 10-year starting quarterback / point guard. There's a minute left. You lead by 3. You don't even have to be a basketball savant to figure out. Drive, get fouled, or settle for a really, really good shot with 1 or 2 or 3 seconds on the clock. No. Never passes. Takes the lowest percentage shot currently in the NBA. The lowest percentage shot in the NBA right now is a Russell Westbrook 3. That's the lowest, not a free throw, not a jumper. The lowest rated shot in the NBA right now is a Russell Westbrook 3. And he takes a long 3 with a guy on him. That's why I criticize Westbrook. 10 years in the league. You can blame Melo for this loss because he missed free throws. By the way, Steven Adams missed 1. Westbrook missed 1. The Melo free throw should have never mattered. If Westbrook drives and gets fouled, which he is prone to do, he's a career 80% free throw shooter. Game over. Minute left. OKC by 5 because Boston came down and missed their next shot. What is playoff basketball? It's not running and gunning. It's not dunks. It is slow down, half-court, situational basketball. That's why Brad Stevens is a really valuable coach, because he's a great half-court offensive coach. Last night, without Hayward, without Kyrie Irving, you've got the MVP, Melo, Paul George, Steven Adams, 3-point lead, minute left. That is what you settled for. Go ahead, blame Melo. But I'm not going to blame the wide receiver for a loss with a minute left in the football game. That is on the quarterback. And that is exactly what drives me crazy. The announcers, it should be noted, the announcers were critical of him. I mean, you got to give the announcers credit. They spotted it too.
Yeah, Adams bailed out a tough shot by Russell Westbrook there. You kind of looked at me on that shot. It was a long one.
Well, that's where they got to be better right there, especially from Russ, your point guard, especially 1 minute left to go. Get to the free throw line at least. Don't settle for that long shot.
That was settling. That's why I'm tough on Westbrook. That's it. That's the moment. The difference between your Matt Ryans and your Bradys are those minute left situations. The difference between winning and losing playoff games, situational basketball. Dude, you've been in the league 10 years. You've got to be better than that. And with that, we bring on the Fs1 Instigator, who's got a new radio show, The Odd Couple, with Chris Broussard, debuting Sunday, 6 to 9 Eastern. Mr. Instigator.
I'm so excited about the radio show with Chris.
Oh, you'll be great.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be fantastic.
Is.
By the way, the NFL, Al Riveron says the committee has suggested a new catch. Here's what's interesting. You were at the ground zero of this. The first play where all of us in the world went, what the hell just happened to football? In Detroit, was it in Detroit or Chicago?
No, it was in Chicago.
Calvin Johnson of your Lions, you were a columnist in Detroit. That is the play that started the confusion of what a catch was. Do you remember the moment?
I remember it very vividly. I was writing a column for the Detroit News, and we're at the game, and we see this, and they're saying the letter of the law, what they had come up with, it wasn't a catch. And we all looked at each other like, are you kidding me? Like, this is what they're not calling a catch now in the NFL? I could not believe. And then it was years and years of, touchdowns being taken away and whatnot. It was really bad for the league. And they finally came to their senses that they had to get this corrected because it's ridiculous.
Okay, so ESPN, in what was a strange move to get attention or just general incompetency, came out yesterday with their dominating 20. In the last 20 years, the most dominating athletes. Now, they're not saying you have to be dominant for the entire 20 years. They're saying in the last 20 years, for at least some period of time, these are the most dominating athletes. I don't know how Floyd Mayweather, who didn't lose in the last 20 years, is not higher. Usain Bolt is the fastest human ever, is 10th. I don't know how Lauren Jackson, who's not the best player in the WNBA, and Mike Trout's never won a playoff game. So that my overall interpretation is it's either clickbait or literally they've hired people who don't watch games. What is your interpretation?
The list put out by ESPN is so bad that clickbait.com wouldn't even take it. They thought to themselves, this is so ridiculous. Not even people would click on it.
Is that a website, clickbait.com?
Clickbait.com. That's how bad it is.
Now, is there anything – I mean, my takeaway is really Peyton 3, Brady 20?
No, they got one thing right. Brady at number 20 is correct. Colin, when you factor in the cheating scandals, when you factor in the load factor, the luckiest of all time, when you factor those things in, Tom Brady shouldn't be as high. When he won his first Super Bowl run, right? How many touchdowns did he throw the whole playoffs in Super Bowl?
I don't know.
1 touchdown. 1. And I think when they look at, even though Peyton Manning's 14 and 13 lifetime in postseason games, he won the 2 Super Bowls, he won all those MVPs, put up a lot of regular season numbers. You will admit his regular season numbers are better than Brady's. Would you agree with that?
Well, I mean, they're both absurdly good. They're great.
But Brady's better in the postseason than either.
Yes, that we can't be disputed.
Right. So I think that's what they're looking at. But this list is totally ridiculous.
Is there anybody else you would have had higher on the list?
My number one wouldn't have been Tiger Woods. My number one most dominant I've ever seen, Barry Bonds. And I know people will try to poo-poo him and his ability and
time out.
Talk about the PED.
You just said Brady was a cheater.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. Do you know for sure that when Barry Bonds was hitting those 73 home runs in 2001, right?
Yeah.
That the pitchers he faced wasn't on the juice as well?
So
I'm saying he was on a level playing field that most of the people, I don't have all the numbers, but if you could prove to me, and Colin, just look it up, Google it, go find out how many people have been tested positive for PED use. There have been more pitchers than hitters. There have been more. When you talk about Roger Clemens and Andy Pettitte, you think they're the only pitchers who were on the juice as well?
No. Do you think Tom Brady was the only quarterback throwing deflated balls?
Not just that, but he had the other team's defensive signals in Spygate. So all I'm saying is Barry Bonds, the hardest thing to do in sports is to hit a baseball. Would you agree with me, Colin?
I think it's hard. I think
it's very hard. You want to stand up against 100 miles an hour or a guy who can throw a curveball or what? You have a split second eye-hand coordination to be able, and then you could hit the ball. Most people could try 100 times and never lift the ball in the air to get it out of a stadium. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It is so hard to hit home runs.
Right.
For him to do that, go back. He led the league 5 straight years in walks. He set the all-time record, 232 walks in a season. In baseball, you fail 7 out of 10 times, and you're a Hall of Famer. That's how hard the game is. There's no other sport where you can fail 7 out of 10 and be a Hall of Famer. But baseball is that hard. He made the game look easy. Managers would walk him with the bases loaded in games rather than pitch to him. He was the most dominating player I ever saw, including the last 20 years. I think people try to discount or poo-poo Barry Bonds. They are insane. This guy was unbelievable.
Who would be your 2? Lauren Jackson?
No. No, it would have to be like Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt ran 21 events in an 8-year stretch. He won 20. He was disqualified for the other one.
Right. I don't know how is he not.
Think about this. When you run 100 meters, a bad start, over the course of 30 races, you'd have 7 bad starts. He won he won 11 world championships.
And they have Serena down 12. She won with the bun in the oven. She won a Grand Slam.
Pregnant.
Yes.
Yeah, Serena's.
That's impressive.
Yeah, Serena's my 4th greatest of all time.
How could she be 12th and she's won, since they have Tiger as number 1, Colin, she's won 15 Grand Slams since Tiger's last major. 15.
Yeah, I mean, they have Tiger above Serena. First of all, I love Roger Federer, but Djokovic and others have beaten Federer. Federer's had guys that he struggled with. Serena is 14-0 in double finals, has won a tournament pregnant. And by the way, really, there's never been a serious threat when she's played her best tennis for like 12 years.
Right.
15.
Now, she should definitely. You got her in the top 5. I agree with that. I think it's a terrible list.
The instigator, his name is Rob Parker. He's got a new radio show. It's called The Odd Couple. Broussard Parker, Sunday, 6 to 9 Eastern, iHeartRadio, Channel 83 Sirius app, and Fox Sports Radio. It's a pleasure, instigator, to have you on the show.
Always. I can't wait.
You do realize Bonds for about 4 years, every morning for breakfast, would have oatmeal and HGH.
And don't forget, opening day is a week from Thursday.
Yankees going to go 161-1.
No, they're not. They'll lose a few games.
Hey, guys, second weekend of tourney and college hoops, basketball playoffs, hockey playoffs. There you see I'm looking at a live shot at USC's Pro Day. It is pouring.
Is it really? Or are you joking?
No, it is pouring. And poor Joel Klatt's hair won't be perfect for the first time in his life. All right. It's nutrition science. If you want to increase your stamina, endurance, vitality, strength, M-Drive is built on science, clinically tested, safe and effective ingredients designed to help achieve your goals, boost your natural testosterone levels, increase your energy. You can get it online at buymdrive.com. That gets you 25% off, buymdrive.com. Or you go and see it prominently displayed at Walgreens and GNC and Sprouts and Vitamin Shop and Duane Reade. Refine your prime with M-Drive, clinically tested, safe and effective ingredients designed to boost something already in your body, natural testosterone levels to increase your energy. Buymdrive.com, code HERD.
I wasn't trying to wreck